Hey playmates, welcome back to our clubhouse. Whoop whoop. I'm wishing you, how you guys doing? I'm wishing you guys a good August. For today's video, I'm going to be doing all the books I've read in July. I think July was a pretty good reading month. I was excited for my July TBR. I completed my July TBR, which is really exciting. And I read one book extra, so I'm really proud of myself. I was really, determined because I had a goal in mind, and I did it, y'all. So yeah, I finished my TBR and had an extra book that I read as well. So let's get started. Most of the books were library books, so I'm just going to show you guys on my Kindle or my iPad. And so yeah, the first book that I read in July was Lisa Jewell's The Third Wife. You guys know I love Lisa Jewell, so when I saw this at the library, I was like, hold up, let me go get it, and that's exactly what I did. So this is one of her earlier works, and yeah, The Third Wife was pretty interesting. One of the main characters' name is Maya, so that was pretty cool. I was pretty much pronouncing my name all the time in my head, so that was pretty funny. I gave The Third Wife 4 stars. I'm probably going to deduct it now to 3 because I thought something else happened, and then when I discussed it with my mom, because we're the mama-daughter duo. Her channel is at Sassy Diva JJ. You guys can go check her out. But I read the book first, and then when she read the book, we discussed it, and she was like, no, that's not how that happened. So I was thinking the book was better than it was, so I'm now going to deduct it to 3 stars. But yeah, I would say yes, this is one of my least favorite Lisa Jewell books, but I definitely found it humorous, and I just took it as a comedy, more of her comical thrillers. So yeah, it was basically this man, he's trying to investigate pretty much if there was a deeper meaning to his third wife dying, and it's just all of these different family members, all these different kids involved, and it turns out she was getting bullied, his third wife. And then we were just pretty much just a wild goose chase. So yeah, I don't know, I gave it 3 stars. I'm glad I read it, but it's definitely not one of my favorite Lisa Jewell books, but I am glad I read it. I didn't really put that much, I took it light, and I really found it very comical. The bullying emails were hilarious to me, so I would say it was just a funny thriller read. The next book that I read was OMG. I was so happy to read this book, you guys. So as you guys know, I love Leigh Bardugo. I love her as an author. I love her books. I loved her Shadow in the Bone trilogy. I finished the whole trilogy. So as soon as I finished the trilogy, my library also had the Six of Crows, and I was so excited. I was jumping up and down. Literally, I couldn't wait to get to Six of Crows. I know a lot of people say they like Six of Crows better than the Shadow and Bone trilogy, and I put the Shadow and Bone trilogy such on a high pedestal. That is my baby. You already know the Darkling is my husband. I love a good dark villainous character. I love it. Ooh, it just, I don't know, it just does something to me, y'all. So obviously I love the Darkling, and I just love that series so much. I loved all the characters. Nikolai, I love all of the characters in that book, and I love the vibe. So obviously I couldn't wait to jump into Six of Crows, and y'all, Six of Crows was so good. I loved it so much. I gave it 5 stars. Obviously the writing in there was amazing. Even though it was 6 characters, you had 6 main characters, all of them were so chef kiss. So entertaining. I love learning about all their backstories. Loved Mr. Dirty Hands. I can't wait to read the second book. It just really kept me entertained. It was the dialogue and the banter. She does banter and dialogue between characters so good. She always has them being very sarcastic towards each other. The tension and the love in the story was amazing. It definitely gave me Prison Break, Money Heist, and Peaky Blinders all mixed into like a fantasy with magic. So that's the vibe it gave. And I love Prison Break, I love Money Heist and Peaky Blinders, so it was just such a cool ride. Each chapter focused on a different character, which was so cool. He was getting like these multiple stories and these backgrounds of these different characters. I really loved Matthias and Nina. I thought they were so cute. Definitely gave me like enemies to lover vibes. And of course I loved Mr. Dirty Hands, aka Cass, and Inej. So yes, it was such a cool, gritty vibe. I loved like them being kind of this team working together, but they all have their past traumas. And I loved just the energy, the vibe, the magic. It's just the same world that I love, but in a different light, I guess. So cool. Also, some of the characters that were mentioned that we know and already know and love from the Shadow and Bone trilogy were mentioned in Six of Crows, so that just really made my heart melt, and I just started crying because I was just like, OMG, the connections. Oh my gosh. And I can't wait to read the second book in the Six of Crows duology, and then I can't wait to go to the King of Scars, because King Nikolai was probably my second favorite character after the Darkling. He was so and just the second book in general, he made the second book, which was Siege and Storm. Like, I think that was my favorite book out of the three, just because of King Nikolai. So yeah, definitely a banger. Definitely love Six of Crows. So good, so good. Just and the crew, the characters, the story, everything about it, I just loved. You get these gangs and these rival gangs. It was amazing. Obviously, I loved it so much, I'm like still talking about it. After that, I read As Old as Time by Liz Braswell. It's a whole Twisted Tales series. This was my first book from the series, and it's a Beauty and the Beast retelling. Guys, I was not happy with this book at all. I gave it 2 stars. I don't know, I just thought it was going to be something different. So yeah, it wasn't for me. It was a legit duplication. It felt too long. Yeah, it was very slow paced. It was exactly the same as the original story that we already know, and I don't know, I just wasn't vibing with it, y'all. I was not vibing with it. I don't know why. It was 500 pages to tell the same story. I feel like once we got to maybe 90% of the book, that's when the twist happens. But at this point, I'm like, I really don't care. I was so happy to finish the book. This really stalled my reading journey for July, because I was just it just dragged on for me, very slow paced, and I feel like it took a lot of my time when I could have been reading something else, which was unfortunate, because after this I wanted to read The Mist and Fury. So I was just like, oh, after I finish this book, then I can eventually get to A Court of Mist and Fury. And you guys, I finally was able to get to A Court of Mist and Fury. OMG, you guys. I've been talking about A Court of Mist and Fury for like, it feels like a whole decade. But no, it's probably, 2 months now, 2 or 3 months. It's been on my TBR, and each time I haven't been able to get to it. So I finally was able to get to it, and I was just I've posted my reading vlogs. It is spoiler alert, the videos do have spoils in them, so don't watch them unless you've read the book. But I wanted you guys to see my true reactions. I loved book 1, which was of Quarter Mist of Thorns and Roses. So so you guys want to see my reactions to A Quarter Mist and Fury, you guys can go over there. But like I said, the reading vlogs are in parts and they capture all of my reactions, y'all. And there's a bunch of reactions because this book was a whole masterpiece. I can definitely see why you guys hyped this book up. Booktok did not lie. Booktube did not lie. Oh my gosh, I probably like book 2 maybe like 10% better than the first book, just because it was so much more dramatic, so much more just the backstories. We get more backstory. You definitely are going to look at book 1 differently. You're going to be gasping along the way, crying, blushing. It's spicier, it's more gory. Yes, I was here for it. Well done, well done. 5 out of 5, baby. I love that book so much. I did finish it, so I will post my last final parts. They'll be coming up soon of my reading vlogs. But yes, guys, your girl was gasping, your girl was crying. Look, I'm flabbergasted, but I couldn't turn the page at a certain point. I was just like, it's just too beautiful. It stunned me. I was shocked out of my mind with other characters. It was just a wild ride. There was a lot happening in that book. I think it's like 500 to almost 600 pages. So it was a lot to unpack in that book. And I was so happy that I was able to finally read it and finish it. So that was so exciting. The girl was so happy. Thank you guys for, telling me to hurry up and read it. Because yes, ma'am. I'm kind of upset with myself that it took me that long to get to start the book. Because each month I was like, oh, I'm going to read A Quarter Mist and Fury. And it just never got done. But finally, you guys, I can't wait for to read book 3. But yes, you guys, A Quarter Mist and Fury is probably one of my favorite books of this year. I highlighted so many quotes. I have it on my Kindle. I also borrowed a library physical copy, but I was mainly reading it on my Kindle, and I highlighted so many quotes, bookmarked so many pages. It's just everything. It's literally everything. Oh, that book will be sticking with me forever. And rice, sand, oof. What a character, what a man. Ooh. Anyways, the last book that I squeezed in literally on the last day of the month, my goal was to read this book in one day. It was to fit it in for July, and I read it in a day, and it really surprised me, you guys. It really shocked me. It exceeded my expectations, because literally my mom and I would like be like, child, that's not gonna be that good. I don't know why everybody hyping this up, is it really that good, or is it just a hype? But y'all, it's not a lie. Booktok did not lie on this one either. And guess what it is, y'all? It is beach read. Yes, ma'am. And guess what I gave it? I gave it 5 stars, baby. I really loved Beach Read. It was really easy to read it in a day. And yes, Beach Read is that book, okay? I will probably read it every other summer or something, because it gave me all them gushy feelings. It did have spice in it. So what was that? A total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I read 5 books, so it's pretty good. I'm pretty proud of myself. Definitely, since a bunch of them were pretty thick books. So yeah, I was pretty proud of myself. Thank you guys for watching, and I'm gonna post I'll I'll be uploading my TBR for August. I already have it planned, so sorry. Excuse me. I already have it planned, so I'm excited. Please just stay tuned for more and have a great day. Bye.